Let's go! We have update 8. It's a little laggy, but that's fine. I just need a better computer. Anyway, finally, we have update 8. Now, for most people, this wouldn't do much. Like, yeah, they're changing the whole graphics thing or whatever. And everything's like, it looks better now. But now, this does two things for me. Firstly, we have blueprint dismantling, right? So I can just get rid of this entire thing as a blueprint, which is wonderful. And second, we have the new things in the power thing. I don't think I have it yet, because I need to go get it from the place. Alright, in here. Expanded power structure. We get our power towers. This is ridiculously easy. Yeah, there you go. Okay, power towers. Power towers with a platform. A new power storage? I don't know if they moved it or what. They did add that fancy power switch, right? Priority something? Oh, that's probably in the MAM, innit? There you go. Okay, we need high-speed connectors. I think that's one of the very few things that I don't actually have automated. I just have to make some, I guess. Get rid of you. Get rid of you. I needed, what? 25. 25 of those. How do you make 25 of those? I don't know. 24. 25, let's go. Yes. Go. Thank you. Awesome. Okay, priority power switch. What do you need? High-speed connectors. Gosh darn it. See, because currently I have a very different system for how I'm doing my factory control. I have a whole bunch of switches just in a room, all of which have single power lines going way up to the surface, and then those single power lines cross the planet or whatever to go wherever I need them to go. Of course, the problem with that is that it's ridiculously annoying to send stuff all that far and then keep building new cables and wires and whatever. And I don't want to do that. So instead, I'm going to use the priority switches, because with a priority switch, you can access any switch from any other switch, right? I can turn them on and off. So let's say I have on the A side, both of these are connected, and the B side of this one goes to here, then the B side of this one goes to here. If I turn this on, right, then that one goes. And if I turn this on, then that one goes, right? Now, if I go over here, I can go into the circuit break priority and turn off the other one. I can turn off the other switch from here, and I don't have to be at this switch, which completely removes the need for all of the switches being here. I can put the switches at their individual factories and then have one switch down here, and then I can control all of the switches from down here, which is great, because this is a nightmare, and I want it gone. The other important thing to do with Update 8 and the blueprint changes in particular is this right here. This is a blueprint, and normally it would take forever to get rid of the whole thing, but what I can do now is I can blueprint dismantle, and then just get rid of all of it at once. What I'm going to do first, actually, is I'm going to put in the new system before I get rid of the old system, so that everything doesn't just kill itself, which would, you know, kind of suck if that did happen. So, oh boy, unauthorized hostility. Did they respawn the little things down here? Can you not get out anymore? I can't get out anymore. Oh my goodness. I'm literally stuck underground. This kind of sucks a little bit. We need a hypertube entrance. Coming out of this guy would be nice, and then going up to the surface, right? So then I need to connect this. So that thing should have power now, unless all of these are turned off. Okay, so now I have to go find which one of these it's connected to. A5? A5. 1, 2, 4. No, it's the one back here. Why? Okay. I think that's this one. Aluminum is turned off. I'm also not even sure that that's true. Okay, this is A10, armory, steel, modular frames. Great. B1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so actually, it's this one. This one is A5. So we should be good. Probably. See, this is why I need a better system, because that one is convoluted and garbage. Right? It's dumb. Does this work? Yes, it does. No, it doesn't. No, it does not work. I did not even begin to think about this. You're not supposed to do that, mister. I don't know where I am. Can I... Oh boy. Okay, we're coming down. We are coming down. Okay. All right. I need to fix that because that is not conducive to my continued health. Whoops. Okay. Luckily, literally everything goes over here, and I need to get rid of these guys. Oh, hey, this guy holds 18 ammo now instead of 15. That's very interesting. What? Huh? I'm gonna get rid of those because I have cars going around here now. So I need you guys to be the big not here anymore. Okay, you can still get through just fine, which is good. That was my main concern. You are an idiot, and I always knew this, and nothing's gonna fix that, so... Oh well. That's not what I meant to do, but I guess I had to do it anyway. Okay, this is a good test to see if my little thing still works. If landing on here is gonna kill me or... Oh boy. Well, I don't feel like that's exactly what I wanted to happen. So, primarily, I actually need to fix that issue that was up there, right? But how do I do that, is the question. What needs to happen is this needs to not go straight up. So this shouldn't, hypothetically, be in the way of any of these guys, right? And this is a temporary solution. I'll fix it better later so that it doesn't look like garbage. I feel like that would be very nice. And let's see what happens when I fall here. Is it fixed? Does it work? No, it doesn't, and it sounds very strange whenever you die. So this actually needs to come up a little bit, right? I'm gonna one of these and put it here. That's probably just fine. Okay, so, now that it has been a solid 35 minutes, we're gonna finally actually do something. Okay, let's go. Okay, see, this works just fine, and it puts me in the little garage. The first thing we want to do is go to every factory, right? This should work. Yeah, baby! But it launches me way farther than it did before. Of course, the other thing with the priority switches that most people would use them for is that they change the way... How do I word this? I just forgot all of the English words that I ever knew. You can change the priorities, so something else will turn off before the other one does or something. I feel like that's totally a good enough explanation, and you're just gonna have to stick with it. Whatever. Okay, let's do that, right? And then we can put down our priority switch. Power would then come to here, and then from this one, it would go to there. But see, the thing is, most of the different power things would have a train station next to them, so I could just put the power thing on the train station. But this one doesn't have a train station next to it. So instead, I have to connect this via the new fancy ones. Probably, that's what I'm gonna do as a replacement for those things. Okay, so the top of this is the long one, and then the bottom of this is the short one. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so this is gonna go to there, and then from the top of it. So this goes farther than the regular ones. I can just put it up there, I guess. That makes sense. I want this to go to the power things. I want to follow along this stuff right there, and then connect to all of the power things. So, like, I can put this guy down there, I guess. I don't know where he's even going. And then I can just connect this to the power thing instead of this, right? Easy enough. Simple. I'm just going to do all of these things real quick, and I'll be back when I'm done doing all of these things real quick. And several hours later, we now have a simplified grid from which I can turn off any of my factories at any time, however I want. It's great. And I can do this from anywhere, actually. Any of the factories, not just this one down here, right? I can do this from anywhere. It's great. Now, we do have some slight issues where our production is relatively low comparative to our consumption. Likely because we have now turned on our advanced aluminum factory, and I'm 70% sure it's working at the correct speed. I know that's not exactly promising. That's not the numbers you want to see. To be fair, I did set it up to run pretty slow anyway, and as long as these guys are functioning, yes. Okay, these guys I think are the slowest, the least functional right now. It's kind of difficult because I didn't build this factory all at once, right? I built all of the different parts of it, and then I tried to string those parts together. Another thing that happened is there's all kinds of, or there were at least, there were all kinds of glitches So, like, in some of the steel bits, I was getting limestone where the steel was supposed to go. Like, for instance, here, we don't have that many steel pipes coming in because I had a whole bunch of issues with the steel pipes trying to be made with limestone. Like I said, we do now have some power struggles, which leads quite nicely into the next part of this video, where I'm going to be building the largest factory I've constructed in Satisfactory as of today, to date. The biggest one. The biggest one. For one, I'm not even sure it needs to be as big as I'm going to make it, except I'm pretty sure it does need to be as big as I'm going to make it. And for two, I'm fairly certain that it would fit here. Like, it might fit here. But also, I'm not putting it here, so that doesn't matter. After lots of very careful and methodical consideration, maybe the Red Forest might be good, because it's relatively flat. I mean, there's like rivers and such. Okay, so up here, once we get rid of all the trees, which is going to take a while, we can start looking at building a giant nuclear factory. Yep, that's what it's gonna be. Yeah, that sure is a wonderful idea. And the funny thing is, it's only gonna put us over like 200,000 megawatts, which, to be fair, is 20 times more than we have currently, because we have 10,000 megawatts right now. So I just have to kind of get rid of all these trees. I believe there are 3 uranium nodes, totaling about 2,100 uranium per minute. So I've done all the necessary calculations in an Excel spreadsheet for the factory that is going to process 2,100 uranium into power. I would like 1 order of death in a can, please. Actually, I'll take 4. 6. I can count. I'll be back in 6 hours when I'm done clearing out this entire forest. Okay. I mean, obviously that's not all of it, but I feel like it's pretty darn good. I didn't get some of the further reaches, like over there, because, you know, I might not need to use that area. I just want to put it kind of here-ish, either along this river or across this river. I'm not sure. Might also not fit there. I have no idea. It's going to consist of 3 parts. I'm not going to tell you what the parts are yet, because that'll spoil everything. But the first part, the part we're doing today, because this thing is massive and we can't do all of it at once, is going to be the base, which is a very large, kind of rounded end rectangle. The large rectangle portion of it, I'm pretty sure future Rest of Toasty is putting this on the screen with like a picture of some kind. The larger rectangular portion is 80 by 40 foundations, and then the semicircle caps on the ends, they have a radius of 20 foundations and a diameter of 40, obviously. I think I'm gonna have one end of it over there, lengthwise, and then the other end over here. I guess I'm just gonna start up here, and then go 120 in that direction, because that's a good idea, and hopefully it works. Without these guys, I hate you. What? Oh my goodness, why do you have children? At least the tiny ones can't jump. I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna fit 120 foundations this way, but we can try. Nope, we got 60. So instead, we're gonna go the other direction. Okay, so this is 40 right here. I am going to actually move it like 10 or 15 this direction. Jeez, this is widthways? Why is it? Okay, there's no way I did my math right. I must have messed something up. I wrote it down somewhere, but I think I'm an idiot. Let me just make sure before I ruin my entire life for the wrong number. In my little fancy notebook, I have... Nope, that's 40 foundations across. And I determined that that was required? There is no way. I'm going to Google something, because I'm pretty sure that that is wrong. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is gonna be torture. So we're gonna have 6 rows of 17 of the power plants, which does fit in our 80 by 40 foundation, and that's 102 of them in total. That's just wonderful now, isn't it? Okay, so we do in fact need a 40 foundation by 80 foundation base, plus the little circles on the end. Okay, so now we need to go 80 foundations in that direction. And then we're still not even done. This is just great. Okay, so this is 80 foundations. 80. This is 80 foundations across. It's just the thinnest line over there. Are you kidding me? This is how much I have to build now. This is a joke, right? We are definitely gonna have to lift it up though, because we're running into stuff like this. So, yeah, I'm gonna lift this up by a couple then. So like 2 or 3. Oh, that guy. That guy is definitely going to be our biggest obstacle. But underneath, that's not really a huge deal. We can have kind of, like, we can make this a floor and then make it a little bit taller. Because the base, inside of the base, is going to have all of our basic processing, like steel, iron, limestone, caterium, stuff like that. And we're going to do the rest of it elsewhere. Okay, these two, we need to build kind of a radius that goes this way. See, so we go 10 here, and then another 10, right? And then the one next to it is going to be the same, so I can just go back. But then we need to get rid of these, and then do the same thing, but angled just a little bit, like that. And then go out, all the way out here. Can't afford. There you go. Okay, well, technically we don't need these inside bits yet, so I can just kind of clear those out a little bit. Now, you may notice that there is a little bit of a gap here between these, but I do have a plan for that, so don't worry about it. It's fine. So there's one side of it, right? It'll curve all the way around there. The other side, it'll encompass that, but that's not a huge deal. And then obviously there's the one on the opposite side. So now we have our outline, which, yeah, it's a little bit ridiculously big. This bottom layer, or wherever I decide the bottom layer is going to be, is going to be all of our individual factory things for the basic stuff, because we're going to need a whole lot. In fact, let me look at my spreadsheet just for some numbers. For steel alone, 81 foundries just for steel, and then there's still also constructors and assemblers. And then there's also aluminum, which uses refineries and constructors. Yeah, there you go. Okay. Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go back and forth, grabbing the plates and the concrete that I need. And I'm going to fill out this entire central bit. And I will be right back once we have a base. Yeah. And here is our base. The scale of this project is just now starting to, really weigh in on me here. Okay, so, on this, we now need to build all of our factory bits for the very basic resources, such as steel and aluminum and iron and copper and whatnot, which is a lot. So, obviously, I won't be showing you that. Alright, so I think I'm gonna start with steel, because it's one of the simplest ones. And then maybe iron, and then copper and whatnot, in whatever order I feel like it, actually. Yeah. So that is steel done. We have 7 different lines. This one, obviously, these make, I think, screws that go to the reinforced iron plates with wherever the iron stuff happens. We got one here, industrial pipes. Those go to heavy modular frames. Got 3 levels here. Just kind of a bunch of stuff all out here, but, you know, it's really big. Okay, so next is iron. This one actually turned out a whole lot easier than steel. Took way less time. Got 2 different things here, where it's just smelters straight into constructors that go to nitric acid. And we have this one right here that I don't think I marked where it went. Modular frames. Where do those go? Probably just the heavy modular frames, right? Yeah, I didn't finish marking these out, but I did finish putting everything in. Next, I guess, is copper. Yeah, let's do copper. This one had a few more sections, but not that many more sections. Just 1 more sections, I guess. So, pretty simple, not too bad. Not super huge either. Almost as long, I think about as long, almost as long as the steel. Next, I guess we'll do caterium, because there's only, like, what, 3 or 4 lines there? Alright, so that is caterium. So we have this one really, really ridiculously giant one. I believe this is 42 constructors, all of which are completely maxed out, and 84 smelters, all of which are at the regular speed. And then over here, we have actually 63 smelters and 84 constructors. The smelters are all at the normal speed, and the constructors are all at the normal speed. And then obviously we have this little tiny one. Yeah, that's it. We have the one really ridiculously big one, and then this one here that's kind of small. We got 10 smelters, 9 constructors, and then we have another ridiculously gigantic massive one, and then we have another really really tiny one. But that's Caterium. What else is there? We could do... we should probably get to oil at some point, but it's going to be so annoying. At least it's not going to be as annoying as aluminum. Anyway, the only ones left right now are aluminum, quartz, oil, and concrete. So I guess right now I'm going to do oil. It should be one of the bigger ones, but actually doesn't seem like it's going to be that big. Alright, so here's all the oil stuff. We have this first one, which is just plastic, or I think this is rubber, actually. Yeah, this is just rubber. And then we have some of these guys, and some of those guys. There were 7 lines, but they were all really short, except this one, apparently, which has, I think, 20 hole refineries. There were quite a few different things that needed to be made, but they were all really easy to make, I do believe was the case, or something like that. So that was pretty simple, and now I'm gonna go look at quartz, because quartz is kind of a similar story. There's like 6 different things that are all making silica, but it's like one of them needed 30 or something, so yeah, that'll be fun. And it sure was not. I lied. Yeah, this first one, this is 33 constructors that are all just making silica. That's just wonderful. And then over here we have another 30 that are also all just making silica. And then we have these 2 over here that are also all making silica. But I don't know if I did enough for this one. This is 10, but I might have needed 12. I might also just be going insane. No, I only needed 10. I'm just going insane, that's all. And then number 6, that's just making just these two little guys, and this is wrong. Quartz crystal. There you go. That's great. So next would be aluminum, I guess. As I expected, aluminum was an absolute nightmare. So we have 2 lines, this one, and then this one, and then this and this, going to the plutonium cells. And then this second line right here that just makes the ingots. And then this third one over here that does a little bit of that and a little bit of that. And then it goes this way to these things and then those things. And the really funny thing is I did, in fact, have to make a giant table on my pre-existing very, very giant table. Because if I didn't, I would be running out of space for things like belt work. And if I use vehicles in this factory, then I would need to figure out some other way to do those. So I picked this up off of the bottom, and that should make it ever so slightly easier to do things. I did, I don't know if you saw it, I did have to make a little ramp, because it is now, it is becoming fairly impossible to traverse this area with the Explorer, because I blocked off this entire side, and now I'm down here, so I have to go up this ramp. Ugh. I used to be good at this, and then they changed it. So now I have this little ramp thing here that goes up, and then over the wall of constructors. What even is the camera? Anyway, the last one is concrete, which doesn't look like it's going to be too hard, because it's just 2 lines. But one of those lines, let me see, one of those lines requires 13 at max speed, and the other is 10. Okay, that's not too bad. 13 constructors and 10 constructors, and I do believe I have enough shards for that. I don't. I have 57 shards. Sir, what the heck? I have 57 shards, and I know for a fact I need like 300 later. So instead, of doing the 13 and 10 or whatever at the regular maximum speed, I'm just going to do the 33.6 and 24.889 at the normal speed. Because I think I can fit that somewhere, and if I can't, then I guess I'll just suffer and die. That didn't take too long. It's another one of those ones where it's a couple of things, and it's really simple, but it's just big. But it's fine. We still obviously have a lot of headroom because the top floor, I guess. Well, the upper floor is just going to be... Is that a slug? There's a slug up there. Oh my goodness. I had no idea. The base floor is going to be on top of this, and I'm going to do that in just a second. But I do believe that we have now finished all of the basic processing. I'm going to put up a little screen recording of the spreadsheet while I talk about this. We have steel completed. We have iron completed. We have oil completed. We have Caterium completed. And we have copper and quartz and aluminum and concrete. And I do believe that is all. Assuming I did it right, that's all of the basic processing done, and now I just have to do the rest of it. This took way longer than I expected it to, but it's fine. So I will real quick do the actual floor, and in the next episode, we can start working on the next phase of this construction. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Satisfactory. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Hope you have a wonderful rest of the day, and see you later, I guess.